Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloriana, and today I wanted to talk about a concept that really helped me understand myself a lot better. And I am kind of going to merge two subjects at once because I want to explain to you the real meaning of vibrating higher through this concept of the spiritual ego that helped me understand how to really shift my vibration. And before I begin, I want to make sure that you understand that everything that I'm sharing with you is from my own experience. I'm not claiming to know the absolute truth. I'm just sharing with you perspectives and tools that have ultimately helped me on my journey, and I hope that they can help you too. But I know that vibrating higher has been a subject that is really talked about in the spiritual community, and it is something that has gone more mainstream. But to really understand how to vibrate higher, it is very important to understand that there are two forces within each one of us at all times. And these forces have been portrayed in our culture throughout history in many different ways. It has been the little angel and the little devil on our shoulder. It is the force of darkness and light constantly going against each other. But the thing is that it is not as black and white as it is portrayed. To really understand how to vibrate higher, we need to understand who we are and who we are not. And to give you an example of this, we are all brought into this world as this pure seed that is very innocent, like I said, very pure, untouched by the world. But as we get older, our parents start to influence us, our family, our school, society, social media, and we start putting on layers and masks that amount to the personality that we have today. But ultimately, all those things can be taken away, and we are left with this, who we really are at the core. And the only way that I have really understood who I really am is to understand what is permanent, what is always there, and what is unchanging. Because throughout life, we change so much. We change our personalities, what we like, what we don't like, our interests change. And so all of that can be taken away from us. But what you can't take away from any of us is that constant conscious observer that is watching all of our experience and that is going through the ride. And that is the essence that we want to get to know. But when we really understand that everything else is not us, then we can start discarding those things or using them to our advantage into fulfilling different purposes that we have in the world. But the problem with the ego is that even though it holds many abstract layers, it also holds very negative, destructive ones. And these, I feel like, are very well portrayed through the 7 deadly sins, as we have heard. But all of these are destructive forces that when we start to feed with our attention, they become bigger in our lives. To really understand, for example, anger. Anger is a force that comes and really causes a fire within us. When we feel angry, we want to hurt everyone around us. We want to say the most horrible things. We are capable of thinking horrible thoughts, and our actions are dictated by a rage. But ultimately, this emotion comes and it goes, and it is not lasting. But when we identify to that emotion and think that that is who we are, we will act upon it, and we will cause a lot of harm to the people around us and to ourselves. So it is really important to understand the distinction between these fleeting aspects that are in our experience to that real observer, the consciousness that sees it all. And this really takes some self-observation. For example, the whole concept of meditation is to just sit down and understand that you are going to have thoughts, that you're going to have emotions, but that you can observe them and they will eventually leave. But the ego has become so big in our society and has caused so much damage in the world because we identify to it and we constantly give it food with our attention, and therefore it keeps growing. One of the easiest ways to understand this ego, I feel, to me, is to see it as a scared animal that is trying to protect us. The ego is kind of like this energy that was created because it was scared of the world. We needed to put a shield against all of the pain that is going on around us, all of the confusion, because, of course, not every single person has good intentions. And because of that reason, we have learned that we have to use different masks to guard ourselves, to guard our heart. But a lot of the times, those shields also enclose our love, our compassion, our kindness, and that really pure aspect of ourselves that is very childlike, very filled with wonder for life, really filled with creativity. And that is why you see so many depressed adults angry at the world, because they have lost touch with that essence from all of the layers that they have amounted throughout life. And if we wish to vibrate higher, it is necessary for us to start letting go of all those lower qualities that we are not. We have to start letting go of our pride. We have to start letting go of our anger. We have to start letting go of the lust if we really want to rise to higher levels of consciousness where there is love, where there is compassion, where there is gratitude. Because those two do not coexist. You can only have one energy at a time because we only have one attention. So it's really necessary to understand that our attention is energy. Our attention is fuel. And if you have inside of you any characteristic that you don't agree with, you don't like, it doesn't align with the highest qualities that exist within you, then you need to take away its food. You need to take away its energy, which is your attention. You need to redirect your attention and put it in the good qualities within you. You need to redirect your attention and no longer speak when you're angry, no longer feed the thought loops that come inside of your head, even though it takes an immense amount of willpower to do so. But that is where we have the choice to either continue old cycles or to break them and really rise as human beings. And of course, as I say this, I understand that there are many different people with many different experiences all over the world, and a lot of people have had more painful, more damaging ones than others. But wherever you are, there is always a choice to break old patterns, even if it takes one minuscule step. And you're not doing this for anyone other than you, because ultimately, as we let go, we're able to access higher levels of happiness and fulfillment, because even though we feel like some of these elements are us, we're ultimately deep inside aware that we're putting on a mask for the world and that we have to cover who we really are, what we really want to do. And that makes us sad inside, denying who we are at the core. So what really helped me was self-observation, constantly looking at my mind through an objective lens. Not saying, oh, I'm Gloriana, I am so loving, I'm so caring, I'm so kind. Really seeing what I'm thinking from moment to moment. Do I ever hurt others? Have I ever done a bad action? And really reflect on everything that has made me feel uneasy about myself and ask why. Nothing that aligns with your highest self will ever make you feel uneasy. You will never be left feeling uneasy for helping another person. But you might feel that way if you denied a struggling person because you were lazy in that moment. That may actually make you feel guilty afterwards. And that is how you know. You have to really pay attention to your body. You really have to pay attention to the cues that you feel within you with every action that you make, with every decision, every choice that you make in your everyday life. This doesn't mean that we are aspiring to be perfect, because perfection is not true for our current condition. It's just aspiring to be better, to become more conscious of what we're doing and why we're doing things instead of constantly running on autopilot. And the problem with the ego is that it takes away our choice. We think that we're actually making a choice consciously. But when we're repeating old patterns, when we're repeating old thoughts, old words, old behaviors, we're on autopilot, and our choice has been taken away from us without us even being aware of it. That is why it's so important to become self-aware, to become aware of the person that we are right now and the person that we aspire to be. I think we all know deep inside how amazing we really can be at the core. I think deep inside, we're all very pure. We all really want to be more loving, to be more generous, to be kinder to one another. But because society has really promoted a lot of these behaviors, we have thought of them as normal. Society really has made love really distorted. It has put families against each other. It has normalized pornography. It has normalized violence. A lot of the shows that we watch promote a lot of fear, promote a lot of anger. It has separated us as a society, and we think that these things are normal. But anything that doesn't make you feel at peace is ultimately not of your true nature. We're all very loving. We're all very peaceful beings. If you can see a baby coming into this world, it's full of light. And that light still exists in each one of us. But we really have to make the choice to choose that every single day, every single moment, if we really want to rise in consciousness. So I know that today, I think that topic was very complex, and it is something that is abstract even to explain, but I hope that I was able to give you a different perspective of yourself, because when I really understood that these forces were working inside of me, I felt like that was really my awakening. Understanding that I had a choice, that I was not bound to the life that I was living. And I think that's what I want to give you. The hope that you can change your life, that things can get better, and that you get to choose the person that you are in every moment. You get to deny the highest aspects of you, or you get to choose them by doing what your intuition deep inside very subtly tells you to do. And that is what makes a difference between living a life with this energy that we call God, or living a human life of pain and suffering. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I really appreciate you taking your time to be here with me, and I will see you again soon. Bye.